Hello, welcome once again to another amazing episode of Survive Podcast. Today we have an exceptional and amazing actor in person of Mrs. Habiba. Should pronounce this one. Let's have her introduce herself.
I see your places. I was waiting for you. Okay, so the name is Habiba Zock-Sock. Zock-Sock. It's not that hard now.
Zock-Sock.
Zock, Z and S.
Okay.
Zock-Sock.
Zock-Sock.
Z and S. Just make sure Z and S. Zock-Sock.
Zock-Sock.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
I'm an actor, a mother, a fitness enthusiast, and a TV personality.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice having you on board. I am personally happy you came. Thanks so much for honoring this invitation.
Thank you.
So, we'd like to know, how did your acting career, how did it begin?
So it started from school where I chose to study theatre and performing arts. It wasn't my initial choice. I first wanted to study law, but I failed JAM woefully. So I just changed my mind at the last minute. Let me just study English drama, which was later turned to theatre and performing arts. And I think it was when I was in my 300 level, I realized that I actually like acting and I want to make a career out of it. Yes, so after I graduated, I started acting, started attending auditions. It's just something you just start doing, okay? Since I already had a formal training, which is theatre and performing arts, I started attending auditions here and there. I get callbacks. I do small jobs. I started doing a lot of jobs for free at first because you need the exposure, you need to put your face out there. But that's how I started. And yeah.
So, apparently, you just noticed you love doing what you love acting, and then
Yes,
you just went for it.
yes, I just went for it straight.
Okay, we'd like to know where you finished from.
I finished from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Yes, that's where I got my bachelor in arts for theatre and performing arts. Yes.
So, as an actor being raised in Kaduna, how did you navigate your way through societal and parental perceptions about acting career? How do you, during this societal values, how were you able to, in this midst, build and sustain your career?
Okay. So not many parents would prefer this career path, but I think for my parents it wasn't that difficult. Yeah, my mom was very indifferent. She allowed me like whatever I wanted to do. My dad passed away when I was my final year. Though sometimes I always have a feeling like he would have been the one that would have, given me the issue. I know, because he was a very stern person. He was a military officer. So I feel like if he was alive, he would have maybe said no. I would have had to do a lot of fighting. But he passed away when I was in my final year. My mother was very supportive. My siblings too. Though even if at first they were like, because I had to travel to Lagos a lot for auditions, And so after were like, you are traveling a lot, you're spending so much money. But at the end of the day, sometimes you get callbacks, sometimes you get callbacks. So it was more like you were spending money, but you're not getting anything in return. But I always let them know that is what I wanted to do. And once I got married, of course, my partner was also, he supported me.
Right.
So I wouldn't say I suffered a lot of, parental discontent and consent. They were always there for me. But when it comes to societal values now, I'm an introvert. I like to keep to myself. I don't like to put myself out there. So when it comes to people saying this is not what you should be doing, I let them know that it's what I want to do. And even if I'm from the north, as long as I'm doing it well, I'm not being immoral. I'm not doing something I'm not supposed to do. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm making you proud. So they were always okay with it. So I didn't really suffer a lot of backlash when it came to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said something about societal values, how you really don't mind what they think as long as you know what you're doing is right. How did you carefully select acting roles while maintaining clear boundaries in your marriage? Because a lot of people feel that there is no way you have a spouse that watch you get intimate with another person and
And not
feel
feel so
personal
Yeah.
about it and not feel you are actually having an affair with that person.
I think it boils down to having someone who is very knowledgeable about the crafts. I married someone who is also an actor.
Wow.
I met him in school. He studied theatre and performing arts, so he knows the job. He knows what it entails. And if I'm selected for a role that I have to be intimate, of course, I let them know that there are boundaries to it. Okay, there are boundaries to it. You can't go too far, of course. But as long as you're going to do your best to portray the character and let people know that this is why you are doing what you are doing, okay, I don't think it will offend my partner because he knows that it's my job. It's a profession. I know on set we have what we call intimacy coaches who let us who see us through because you have to get comfortable with the person because people watching have to see the chemistry. And if you don't, there are certain things that if you don't do, people watching won't feel it. Okay, so there are times you have to just go all out and do that you have to do. Of course, keeping your boundaries at the same time. So as long as you're with someone who understands you and trusts you and knows that this is the profession you're doing, you'll be fine. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A supportive partner was your backup. So in turn, you're saying that anyone going through this path should ensure that their partners understand what the craft entails.
Yes, yes,
So moving on, why Kaduna? Because earlier on you said you had to take trips,
yes,
and I'm sure you still do that.
yes,
Lagos,
yes.
and quite the distance is a lot.
Mhm.
So of all places, why Kaduna? Because sometimes Kaduna has real having that spirit of mediocre, saying you just there's this notion that comes anyone coming from the north is not there
Yeah,
yet.
yes, yes.
So how were you able to sustain that backlash and also know your value?
Being an individual of Kaduna, I was not born in Kaduna. I was born in Borno, View, but I was raised in Kaduna, and I'm not in Kaduna because I want to be in Kaduna, but it's by chance. My partner's work and business is here, my family is here, and we are just starting family. They are still little, and I don't think I want to raise them in Lagos yet. That might not be the main reason why I'm still in Kaduna because if he decides to get work or business, I will follow him to wherever he's going, especially if it's Lagos. I want to be in Lagos, but Lagos is a hub of entertainment. I feel like if I was in Lagos, maybe I probably would have gone further than where I am now. But I still don't mind because I feel like no matter where you are, what is for you will come and meet you because somehow jobs still come and I have to travel. And I feel like the majority in Kaduna is understandable because of what they see. The thing is that whatever you feed yourself is what you bring out. So it's what they see.
True.
The mediocrity here is based on how things are done. They want things to be done averagely. But in Lagos, they go all out. Lagos is a hustle and bustle. So I really wouldn't blame them. But as long as you are able to go out of Kaduna and do stuff, big things, and come back, yes, why not?
In all these things, as how do you handle being a husband, being a wife, a mother, and also side talks towards your husband, then them saying, the fear, like if you let her out of there, she won't come back the same. You'll be all left out because most times in the other side of your world, we feel that women who are in the spotlight, especially in the acting industry, don't succumb to submissiveness, and also they feel you will overshadow the decision making. So how do you handle that with both? How do you strike a balance?
Okay. First of all, having a man who knows his value is very, very important. Being in this craft. I, for one, I'm lucky to say I have a man who knows his value. So no matter how much I carry my shoulders outside, that I'm a star, I'm popular, which I don't think I'm that popular yet. No matter how much it is out there, the spotlight, when I come back home, I should have go down small because he's still my husband. And like I said, it's good to marry a man who knows his place because sometimes why we see some of these actresses seem like they are controlling or they don't submit to their husband because they ended up with someone who is not. I don't want to say alpha male. You must not really be an alpha male, but as a man, you should know how to let your woman know that see, I'm still the head of this house. You're a woman, you are my helper, you're my wife, but you shouldn't be all controlling just because you're a superstar outside. When you come to the house, be humble, know your place. And I can be stubborn sometimes. I'm not saying I'm not submissive, but I can be stubborn sometimes. But he lets me know that see, outside I know you're a star, but here, control yourself. So when people tell him that are you not afraid? You allow your wife to go out there, don't you think he knows me? It's important to marry someone that trusts you. He knows me that no matter what I say outside, no matter how much they try to impress me outside, what I have at home is more important to me. So I always let him know because it's always good to let them know, affirm it, so that he can also keep trusting you. Like,
I love the fact where you said knowing your spouse is very important, and the other part where you said having a partner that knows their values and not having security issues.
yes.
How do you deal with networking? Networking in sense where most of your colleagues are not in this vicinity. So how do you get to network so well that even when you go there and come back here, you still keep that? Because I think one of the problem in our society is good networking.
Yes.
Sometimes people don't know how to keep good relationships,
Yes.
even after
Yes.
going far.
Yes.
So how do you handle that?
So I just try to keep the communication line open. Thank God for social media now. Things are easier on the internet. So even when I leave Lagos or wherever it is I'm feeling, when I come back home, I always try to let them know that I'm still open for work. Okay. And consistency also important. Like you have to be consistent, even if you're not working as an athlete. There are other things I do on the side. Like I'm a fitness person. I always go to the gym. I try to encourage people. There are people who don't know anything about fitness, and I will try to let them know that fitness is good. Motherhood also takes my time sometimes. So even if I'm not acting, I'm at home. It might seem like I'm not doing anything, but I'm doing a lot. So I just try to keep the communication line open. That see, I'm there. I'm ready for work. So please, I am. Yeah.
As a public figure, how do you navigate being in public places like say the markets, the roadside, and people trying to put selfies, wanting your time, and knowing so much, probably stepping out that day, that was the least on your mind.
Yeah.
And probably they feel they didn't get that excitement
Yes.
or you being friendly that they expected. You just wanted to be done with what you're doing. Have you experienced that? And how do you handle it? Because I'm so sometimes probably when you get home after everything, it just dawns on you that oh, you feel you're not really nice. I probably the person would have felt a bit.
Yes.
How do you handle that?
So first of all, I like to walk around with a nose mask. If you saw me when I came here, because I know I'm not that popular yet, but in Kaduna, I think it was after the end of the film, I realized he said, I think that's what you think. Yes. And every time I say I'm not popular, people say, but you are popular. But I realized that after Beyond the Veil, when I step out, anytime I come back home, I can say I make like 4 or 5 people that recognize you. So I started moving around with nose masks. Not because I don't want people to recognize me, but if you leave me, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to go out and come back and do what I want to do. But as a public figure, you sign up for that life. People see you, recognize you, want to say hi. So I try to be friendly. I try to be friendly. People don't get that from me at first because I usually keep a straight face. Not because I'm trying to be unfriendly, but why will I just be walking around smiling? You are going to look like look like a serial killer. I'm just walking around smiling. So I don't have a smile face. So people sometimes people send me message, I saw you, but I was scared to say hi because we were friends. I say I'm sorry, you should have just said hi. That's how my face sees. Okay. Next time say hi, don't worry. So now people are more welcome when they see me. We do it and hug. But there are some spaces that, like you said, there are times that you just want to go out there and do what you want to do and come back home because you're not in that space. But you have signed up for this life. So it's just like doing, like, as a doctor, you have personal issues at home. And you need to operate on someone. You can't say, oh, I have personal issues and I'm not going to operate on that person. So you keep that issues behind. Once you step into the hospital, you do your job. So the same thing as an actor. Once you're stepping out as a public figure, keep your worries at home. Someone sees you and they're shining teeth. Hug them. Just make them feel welcome. When they go, you can go back to that sulky mode. So you just want to experience. We just have to do it. Okay, even if at the end of the day we are still human beings, we still fall short. And people will end up saying, oh, you are rude or unfriendly. It's normal. It's normal. You can't please everyone. So just do you. Just do you.
I was really surprised that you responded to my message because I just at first I was so skeptical about it, but I just thought about it. The worst that can happen is and I'm sure with time, if it's meant to be.
Yes.
Because I can just imagine you as a public figure sleeping and then waking up to overwhelming DMs and knowing that sometimes it's humanly not possible to actually respond to all these DMs. And also, how do you deal with financial help coming from people?
That's a lot. Let me start with the financial one. People see us because they're seeing us on TV. They just assume we have a lot of money. And I'm not complaining, we are blessed, but we don't have the money that people think we have. Honestly, it's not that so glitz and glam, and we have responsibilities.
Yeah, that's true.
So I help who I can help, and those I can't help, I put them out there for others to help them.
Yeah, I've seen you do that a lot.
Exactly. So if I can't help you, I'll put you out for people to help you. Then when it comes to I'm glad you sent that DM because it's DMs like yours I actually respond to. when it comes to work, anything that benefit me and the person that's asking me, I will answer you. But if it's the DM that will not take us anywhere, that's the one I want. Especially the ones that start with hi. And that's all they say. Or good morning, hi, this family. No. Say hi, my name is this. Tell me, even if you don't have anything to say hi, my name is Hepzibah. I'm a fan, I like you. I'll answer you. But don't just say hi or good morning. I won't respond. But I answer DMs like yours. So yes, if you have anything for me, if you're listening to this, I will answer your DM as long as it doesn't benefit me and benefit you. I'll answer your DM. Wow. Yes.
So I got to know you in your movie Beyond the Veil. That movie, words cannot describe it because you acted life in a script. It was so real. And honestly, when I went to your profile and then it looks like you're in Kaduna, I'm like, what is such a huge talent doing here? And honestly, that movie,
Thank you.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. So, want to really know how that movie came about, how you were able to, and I love that part of Buddy and her husband, how there was a lot of violence.
I thought, yes.
Just show more light about it.
Okay. So, I think it happened in Abuja actually, not in Lagos.
Oh, wow.
I saw the audition notice online, and the director, she's actually based in Abuja, Nadine. So I was like, okay, let me go for this audition. I don't have to travel far; it's just 2 hours, right? So I went to Abuja for the audition, and there was the first phase and there was the second phase. The first phase, they didn't tell us anything like, oh, we'll call you back. They just said thank you for coming. And I just went back. I remember going with Zara. Zara was like 6 months old. I remember taking her with me. She was crying all through. I almost felt like, why did I even come here?
And you literally didn't look like a breastfeeding or
She was 6 months when I went for the audition. So after that, they didn't say anything about, okay, thank you for coming. They just said, we'll get back to you. So I went back home feeling so discouraged. I think it was like months later, I got a mail that she coming for another read this time around. So I'm like, okay. So I went for another read, and that was when they said, okay, I should read for. At first, I was supposed to read for Zizi, character Zizi, yeah. But after I read for that, I think the physical attribution didn't match the character because I'm petite in nature and Zizi is a bodyguard. You need to have that presence. So I was asked to read for Soraya, which I read perfectly well, and they cast me for Soraya. So after then, months later, we went back to Abuja to film, and that was how I got the role. Actually, yeah. And I'm surprised you didn't mention about anything about Soraya being me because people see me in that movie, they think in real life I'm actually me. But I did it well.
You know why? You know why I didn't see that way because at first I saw it that way, but when I started following closely on FB, your comments.
Reaching out to the human being. Yeah, she's a good human being. She's not a witch like Soraya.
I'd love to ask from our previous conversation, it turned out that Beyond the Veil was not what you expected it. You didn't even expect that it was going to hit the threshold it held. We on the other side of the world, sometimes we feel, this is the movie that is going to hit. And sometimes from your response, sometimes it just feels like, oh, you just throw your shots and whatever they want to happen. Yeah.
Yes. So with Beyond the Veil, at first I didn't think it was going to be as big as it is because it came from Abuja. I'm not trying to say I win Abuja, but back then, if it wasn't Lagos, then just like guys. So when I saw this one in Abuja, okay, let me just try my luck. We did it, and when it came out, like it was like, oh, okay. So this is it. I didn't think it was going to be big like this. So it's just a lesson that you should take every opportunity serious. Don't look down on it. Don't think, oh, because this one is coming from. Sometimes even opportunities from Kaduna has gone really global, like Voiceless. I don't know if you've seen Voiceless. The one about the Boko Haram, the girls, was years ago. But Voiceless too. The audition was actually in Kaduna. I didn't even have to travel. Audition and shot in Jos, and that film was big. So there are times that opportunities come through and we see them and like, okay, because they are coming from here, we should take every opportunity seriously. And that's one lesson I had to learn that I've read.
I think I saw your recent movie, Somalia.
So yeah, the genie. So yeah, the
Yes.
genie. Yeah.
Happy. I anticipate it.
Yes. Thank you.
If there's one thing I have that have stood out for me in this conversation is resilience. How you keep pushing despite distance, despite the workload. So people out there who feel that their dreams are far from their reality, especially people who want to move to this acting industry, what's your advice to them?
I'll say they should always take the first step. And what's the first step is get out of your comfort zone. You know, when I started, oh, Kaduna girl, what did I know? I didn't know anything. The thought of Lagos scared me. It scared me. But I knew that if I didn't make that step, I wouldn't go anywhere. So I made that step. I remember going to Lagos when I was younger, night journey, because I had an audition the next day and I didn't get to know on time. So time was not on my hand. So I had to go on the road in the night bus.
Sure.
I went because I needed to make the audition. I felt like if I made that audition, I know I'll get cast. I got cast. So sometimes you just have to take a step, get out of your comfort zone, make that move. So I will always say, if you're trying to make your dreams come true, get out of your comfort zone. Look around you. You don't feel too comfortable where you are. Take a step. It will get uncomfortable, but when you're uncomfortable, just know that results are waiting for you in front, right? Then I always say, train yourself. No, knowledge can never be wasted. You might feel like you've gone to school, you graduated. After I graduated from school, where I studied theatre, I still went to film school. Yes, I studied because acting on stage is different from acting in film. So I still needed to learn what acting is all about in film. So always put yourself out there to learn. Never stop the learning process because times are going as as we are advancing, new things are coming up, new trends, new tricks and everything. So you need to stay updated with yourself. So always keep learning. Once you're learning, people will see that you have this knowledge and they will want to hire you for the job. Sure. So never relax, don't sit back, don't feel too comfortable. Come out of your comfort zone, man. What's your dreams come true?
I am beyond overwhelmed and I don't take this for granted. I am honestly grateful. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you.